Well, it's finally time, my review of the Razer DeathAdder V2 PRO. Now, you might be sat asking yourself why I'm only just reviewing this today, and that's having had and used the retail version since around October of last year. Well, to be honest, I have no excuse, only that it's always hard for me to review a DeathAdder in a completely fair and unbiased way, and that's having mained it forever. Actually, that last part's technically a lie, because do you want to know a secret? I'm motivated to review anything that isn't a mouse at this point, or if it is a mouse, one I don't actually like, so I have a reason to finish it quicker and go back to my main. And here's the simple truth, it's currently the perfect mouse for me, end of review. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified of better reviews in future, do share it with your friends so I can keep doing this, etc, etc. But seriously, to elaborate on my point, it's identical to the DeathAdder V2 I reviewed and mained previously, and that's especially true in wired mode. Except here, you'd be guaranteed to receive version 2 of the optical switches no matter the batch, and the sensor is positioned slightly further forward to likely make way for all the stuff that's necessary for planting it on its optional charging dock, which in my opinion can only be a good thing anyway, as it essentially means you're given more control of wrist movements when planted on the pad. Anyway, as a seemingly rare thing on YouTube, here's a listen to those buttons as they sound today after 6 months of use. Now, whilst dimensions are equal, its weight is slightly higher as a result of those wireless internals. However, it is well built, balanced and acceptable at just 87 grams. Add to that the choice of using it in wired mode, over 2.4 GHz hyperspeed wireless, or additionally Bluetooth, which can be useful if you have multiple PCs for streaming by the way, then you've arguably got yourself the definitive edition of a Razer DeathAdder, or at least for now. It's not that I'm being lazy, I mean I kind of am and I do have a few products in for review, but if the shape fits, and you're not waiting for an 8000Hz option to become available in wide operation on a DeathAdder, then you'd really struggle to find better internals on the market when it comes to a wireless mouse that's designed for right hands in competitive play. And that's away from Logitech at least, but we're still waiting for a lighter ergo from them. So then let's make it short and sweet. No numbers, just straight to the point. Mouse acceleration? Nope. Max tracking issues with the sensor? Nope. Issues with button debounce in Shoot Mania or rocket jumps in Quake? Well, the switches are optical, so again, no. Latency? It's up there with the very best on all fronts. Lift-off distance? Well, that's customizable from as little as 1mm. And how does it perform in game? Well, besides the mental hurdle of choosing to use a wireless mouse, then flawlessly. To elaborate, having almost always used a DeathAdder, I did spend the first month or two swapping back and forth, and now I never plug it in, or at least until I forget to charge it. Fortunately on that front you can disable its low power mode through Synapse, so you'll never get reduced performance, and the LEDs will also flicker red when it drops below 5%. This means that unless you never take a break, you should know ahead of time when to plug it in, both on the mouse or its RGB charging dock if you have one. Not only that, but I also have the dongle connected to the mouse port on my 360Hz display, which allows me to monitor system latency in wireless mode at all times. That effectively means that NVIDIA's reflex latency analyzer will inform me if the off day we all occasionally have is due to slower reaction times or something else, and it's usually the former after a hard day's work. Look, I'm sure there's a near irrelevant advantage in terms of latency when I plug it in, and even today I stand by that, but I don't see myself going back to a cable until 8000Hz because regardless of the numbers, I ultimately can't prove it's anything more than placebo in feeling, and even then that's assuming whatever game I happen to play at the time supports it. To be honest, it's damn nice to be free of a cable, I still hit well, and once I do stop thinking about it, I have no issues in game. That and my desk looks pretty damn clean too. Actually, now I said that, I'll probably plug it in later, so it's an ongoing dilemma. Anyway, that really does about wrap it up. The only bad thing I could possibly say about the V2 Pro is that it's still a DeathAdder, so chances are if you're watching this, you already know if you'll love or hate the shape. If you're not sure on the V2 Pro, then I'd still recommend going for the cheaper wired variant first, and for that you can watch my original review. And if you do opt for the Pro, please remember that just because my sample happened to be flawless, it doesn't mean you might not receive a mouse that has issues. Just handle it accordingly if you happen to be so unlucky. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this short and sweet review, or love letter, and I'd be interested to hear if you actually use your mouse in wireless mode or whether you plug it in because you might perceive it to be faster. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to drop by my Twitch stream and say hello as well, and if you do have any questions or comments, then you can always leave them down below and I'll get back to you. For now though, take care, keep gaming, and I'll catch you in the next video. Believe! Ah!